So I'm going to show you how to use the ChemSpider templates that we've set up on this US ChemSpider hosted version of LabTrove. So we've set these up notebooks, set these up in the notebook RSC LabTrove training, and if you see on the right hand side, if you've got them set up in your notebook, they'll appear here. I'll do a separate session on how to set these up. If you go to the help page, there's a section here on the templates, and the useful bit here there are some example pages to what your post might look like if you did use these templates. So there are 3 at the moment. There's one for compounds, there's a simple one for reactions, and there's a more complicated one for reactions that might go into CSSP. This is the compounds example, basically you might use the templates because you like this way of displaying the characterization of the compound, so store the structure file for it. So this just lets people download the mole file, for example. You can store the names for it, you can store spectra characterizing it. So that might be the JCamp file, or it might be the PDF or image, or it might be both. You can also store various properties associated with it. So this is basically all the information that might be attached to a compound in ChemSpider. So the reason why we set these up was to make it easier down the line. If there was to be some kind of publish to ChemSpider button, posts that were made using this template would therefore be compatible for submission, and we wouldn't need to do text mining on them. For example, we know exactly what each property was for a particular compound. This is the compound one. I'll work through this as an example first. So if you're in a notebook that has the compound template set up in it, then if you click on New Post from Template, you can pick the template that you're interested in using from the list. And instead of just getting 2 boxes, one for title and one for text, this is basically a way to format all of the information. So you put in some kind of compound name, so for example, whatever you'd like to call it. If you know a ChemSpider ID, you can fill it in there. I'll come back to these fields which correspond to files in a minute. You should leave them blank for now. You can fill in descriptions and names. Again, these correspond to this field, and this field correspond to files, so if you leave those blank. Now, some of them have an asterisk next to them, and that means that there's a note about them in this help page that links to from it. So that's just opened up a new tab. And it basically tells you about each field what you might want to put into them. And you can see that for the spectrum type, we'd prefer it to be one of these values for us to be able to map it onto an existing spectrum type in ChemSpider, if possible. For example, for this one, you might just copy out a value from there. Likewise for the properties, you can fill those in as you want as well. And at the bottom, if you just fill in a section, we'll just mark this as a test example. The post type has already been filled in as a ChemSpider compound properties, one to make it more discoverable in searches, and it's telling me which notebook I want to add it to, and then I click on save. Now this takes me through to the regular edit page, but it's already done all the formatting for me. Now at this page, this is where you need to fill in any files that you want to upload. So if you click in the box, for example, for the mol file, and then you go down to the upload data box, and you browse to the relevant. There we go. And upload it. You can see that it's appeared down here, and then click on add link to text, and because the cursor had been in that box, it just fills it in there. And that's how to fill in any of these fields marked with a hash, and that means that a file needs to be uploaded for them. So if you look into the corresponding help file, you'll see that there's a note there about files and how to deal with them. And then you can save it again now that all of the data files have been added. So that's an example of a compound. The reactions, there are two different templates here. So if we click on the simple reaction template, there's a few, this is the basic information for a reaction that might be stored. The ChemSpider Synthetic Pages reaction template is a bit longer, so this is a more detailed one that you might want to look at filling in the extra fields here if you are interested in submitting to ChemSpider Synthetic Pages, although of course you're welcome to submit directly to there as well.